Okay, let's move on. And Dr. Cole, next topic, the anti-inflammatory superfood known as turmeric. You a big fan?
I am a huge fan of turmeric, Steve.
Tell me why.
Well, I think, we're always looking for non-medical ways to manage inflammation, and certainly diet is a big part of it, and then activity levels can be associated with it. BMI or body mass index, in an excessive way can be associated with it, but how do you manage it? So people like to stay away from drugs like anti-inflammatories, and turmeric is a natural anti-inflammatory that is readily available. There's lots of discussion to be had because you got to know how much, what source, what improves resorption, and making sure it gets to the right place. But it's awesome. I recommend it to my patients on a pretty regular basis.
Let's bring on our expert here. She is a woman that helps us so greatly on Sports Medicine Weekly, a board-certified integrative health coach and eating psychology expert, Karen Malkin from our northern suburbs here of Chicago. Karen, how are you this morning?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. So turmeric, Karen, is called the anti-inflammatory superfood. Why in your eyes?
Well, turmeric is this, it's used in, typically it was used in Asia and India as this herbal medicine and spice known to have healing properties. And there's a lot of research, a lot of medical research around turmeric, but turmeric's actually part of the ginger family. And the compound in turmeric is called curcumin, so you may hear them being mentioned interchangeably. And turmeric or curcumin has this biological activity that allows it to function as an antioxidant, an anti-inflammatory agent, and also as an inducer of the cell cycle to arrest, it's called apoptosis, which is like the arrest or the elimination of unhealthy cells, and that's specifically used in cancer.
Right,
so it's
right, yeah.
amazing.
So one of the things, like what you're alluding, I know we want to keep it at a basic level, but as cells die, you said apoptosis. I'm very impressed, Karen. So as cells die, that's called apoptosis. And one of the things that happens as an antioxidant is that we get what's called free radicals. These basically it's a form of oxygen that leads to cell damage and potentially cell death. So turmeric has these as a natural, not only anti-inflammatory, but can sort of help fight these free radicals that otherwise lead to cell death and damage. So it's got all of those properties.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
So Karen, let me ask you a question now. So there are tons of different types. This is the part that confuses me. And what's interesting is while there are probably thousands of peer-reviewed publications on the benefits of turmeric or curcumin, it's still you can't make any claims with it. So companies it's really a supplement, and there's a lot that goes into making a claim. But suffice it to say, I think, and you can make more than an intuitive argument that turmeric is good for inflammation. And one of the things as we age is that joint pain is pretty common. So are you in a situation now where you're actually recommending a specific type, a dosage, when to take it, how to take it? I mean, there's some data that talks about black pepper, which aids in resorption and so forth. So give me your 2-minute spiel on which one, why, and how do you take it and how much?
So I use turmeric from two different companies, Zymogen and Metagenics, because of the research behind it. And yes, like when you mention black pepper, or sometimes you'll read a supplement and it'll say it has curcumin plus capsicum, and that is the piperine, that's the black pepper that helps with the bioavailability and the absorption in your body. So, the supplemental dose for adults is like 400 to 600 milligrams 3 times a day, or I typically will just mention to take as directed on the bottle.
Yeah.
I use the spice. I do take one a day with my multi packet. I do take one turmeric supplement each day, but when I'm inflamed, I will take it 3 times a day as directed. I will take two of those supplements 3 times a day, and I think it really helps. But you can also use it as a spice, and so you can make yourself a jar of 16 parts turmeric, which is it's very yellow, spice, and mix it with 1 part black pepper. So 16 to 1, turmeric to black pepper. Put it in a glass spice jar, and you can add it to vegetables, to soups. You can make turmeric teas. You can add it to proteins. It's not sweet. It's savory, so I would add it on anything that could potentially be savory. But I think that's a really safe way of consuming turmeric.
Yeah, you said yellow, correct?
It's very yellow and it stains.
Yeah, yellow turmeric is extremely potent as far as what's available. It's like 10 times as much curcumin as some of the other turmerics. So that's great advice.
Again, we're visiting with Karen Malkin. Karen is our board-certified integrative health coach and eating psychology expert here on Sports Medicine Weekly. I'm Steve Cashel with Dr. Brian Cole talking about turmeric, the anti-inflammatory superfood. So, Karen, my question is the basic one of, where's the best place to get it? Because this isn't something that we're going to the corner drugstore, right, to try to find it. I kind of feel like it's like fish oil. You better find a real good quality of it, right?
Well, you want to get a supplement that's standardized, and not all curcumin supplements are created equal. So you want to look at the turmeric supplement that I use is a turmeric extract that's 95% of the curcuminoids, and it's standardized. So it's 65% curcumin and 86% curcuminoid. So I think I can't really say which ones specifically are better than others, other than I know that the two that I use are Zymogen and Metagenics, and those are very high quality.
And what are people supposed to feel, Karen? I've been taking it now. Of course, we've talked about it on the show here. I had shoulder surgery with Dr. Brian Cole, performing that surgery on my shoulder back in February, and I wanted to take turmeric. We've talked about it, of course, off the air, you and I, and you set me up with and I take it religiously, one a day, usually after breakfast. But I'm trying to figure out if I didn't take it, where is my line of figuring out what it's doing for me?
Turmeric is known as nature's Advil, and if you're somebody who is taking these ibuprofen or these anti-inflammatory drugs on a daily basis due to pain, I highly recommend you switch to turmeric and then really take as directed 2-3 times a day and notice if your pain subsides. It's not going to work like an Advil. You're not going to notice in 30 minutes my pain's gone away.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I think that the issue with supplements in general, and this is a supplement, is that it has to be taken with regularity, and it has to be resorbed. So my understanding is that it's good to have. I don't know how many of them actually have a black pepper. I think bupivacaine. I forget the name. There's something that goes along with it that has black pepper. Do most of them have that in association with it when you get it at a nutrition, vitamin shop or GNC?
Most of them do.
Yeah, because your body doesn't naturally want to resorb turmeric. But you got to take it regularly. And Steve, to answer your question, if you have inflammation and joint pain, you'll notice, hopefully, that it feels better. And you would take it on a regular basis each day. Karen, I like your idea of sort of cooking with it. I'm curious, do you still get resorption if you take it? You're saying take yellow turmeric, but do you put a bunch of pepper on your food and then you can resorb it? I don't know enough about the chemistry.
Yeah, add a little bit of black pepper. Mm-hmm. According to Ayurveda, that's how it's much more bioavailable in your body when you do turmeric with a little bit of black pepper. And then if you look at the cultures and the culture of the people of India, they have very, very low inflammation, and they consume a lot of turmeric, and it's in a spice form, and turmeric's not. Curcumin is not for everybody in supplemental form because it could, there has been a few studies that says although it has an excellent safety profile, even in high doses, there were a few studies that show potential for liver toxicity. So I would definitely use it in moderation. Talk to your healthcare practitioner if you're going to be taking any kind of supplements. And, no one with liver disease or pregnant women should be taking turmeric supplements.
All right, thank you. That's sort of read the fine print.
And finally, Karen, is this something people can find out more on your website and getting the proper ingredients or the proper company to purchase this from?
Yeah, they can reach out to me directly, Karen at KarenMalkin.com, or through my website, KarenMalkin.com, and I'd be happy to hop on a call and have a conversation, and I can order the supplements for them. Yeah.
Wonderful. KarenMalkin.com, KarenMalkin. Great stuff, Karen. Appreciate your help here on Sports Medicine Weekly, as always.
Thank you.
All righty. That's Karen Malkin, our board-certified integrative health coach and eating psychology expert. Time for a break here on Sports Medicine Weekly. When we come back, it's our Ask the Doctor segment. Stay with us. You're listening to Sports Medicine Weekly, only on
670